the Great Northwoods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Hello everyone, today on Good Morning Maine, the Maine House passed an emergency bill that aims to help fund public defense services through the fiscal year.
Plus, the State Fire Marshal's office is investigating an alleged arson fire in Fort Fairfield. We'll have more on that coming up.
And the Bangor International Airport in Maine troop greeters are working on a special project to send messages to troops that are deployed far away from home. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Janessa Bishop.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us on this Friday morning. We'll have all the day's news coming up. Boy, there's a lot to tell you about today, too, both locally and internationally for that matter. But first, to check that forecast. The weekend is finally upon us. Looking like a nice sunny day today, but
tomorrow.
Yeah, it looks like some snow moving in tonight. Don't worry, though. It could accumulate, but with the temperatures we're seeing lately, it's not going to last for long.
That's good news. We'll turn things over to meteorologist Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Janessa. Happy Friday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Clifton General Store. Start your morning right at Clifton General Store. Fresh coffee and hot breakfast. Family owned and operated. Alrighty, let's get into things this morning. We have a winter weather advisory that is up until 2 o'clock for your Saturday. We have snowfall that will be on the way that will measure up and cause a little bit of travel difficulty as we do move forward. A small craft advisory also up until 2 o'clock this afternoon along the coast. In the meantime, we're pretty quiet out there. Just a little bit of wind that we'll need to keep an eye on as we have one system that is clearing out of the area at this moment in time. So overall, we'll have more clouds that will be on the way with more activity that is off toward the west at this moment in time. So futurecast moving forward, we're clear to start. More clouds on the way this afternoon, and later on tonight we'll have more snow on the way, and it could be heavy at times as well. So of course, gusty winds reaching up to about 20 miles per hour at times. It will back off a little bit overnight with more gusty winds as we head towards tomorrow. All right, your hourly forecast moving forward. Sunshine today. We'll have more clouds as we head towards the afternoon. Temperatures getting close to 40. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Janessa.
Thank you, Devin. We'll look forward to that. Well, first this morning, a Bangor man has been arrested in connection with alleged child abuse. Bangor police say 41-year-old Henry Ozzie was arrested on Thursday after an investigation into the alleged abuse of a juvenile with a wooden dowel on State Street. Police conducted the investigation along with the Department of Health and Human Services, and then Ozzie was arrested. Bangor police say Ozzie and the alleged victim were household members. He was taken to the Penobscot County Jail and charged with domestic violence assault.
A Guilford man was arrested after Bangor police say a woman reported being assaulted and then held at gunpoint at a local motel. Bangor police say they arrested 48-year-old Joseph Pepin of Guilford. Police say the alleged victim told them she had been staying in the motel room on the Audlin Road with Pepin during the week. And on Wednesday night, Pepin allegedly threatened her with a firearm and prevented her from leaving. Police say the alleged victim said she was eventually able to escape and call for help. Bangor police say their criminal investigation division did recover a firearm from the scene. Pepin was arrested and is now charged with kidnapping, domestic violence, criminal threatening, and also possession of a firearm by a prohibited person.
Meanwhile, the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office says deputies responded to an alleged stabbing in Mattawamkeag yesterday. According to the Sheriff's Office, deputies were dispatched to an Indian Avenue home around 6:30 a.m. for a report of a possible home invasion involving someone being stabbed. Upon arrival, officers determined the victim had fled in a vehicle to a different residence. The victim was located and then transported to a local hospital. This investigation is still ongoing, and officers say there is no danger to the public.
The Maine Commission on Public Defense Services announced Wednesday that they have finally reached a critical funding level. The Maine House passed an emergency measure that aims to fund the services through the fiscal year, but the work is not over to secure that agency. Our Grace Blanchard has more.
In a nearly unanimous vote, the Maine House passed an emergency measure in support of LD 2059, a bill to fund public defense services.
To protect constitutional rights for every person in our state.
The vote comes just one day after the Maine Commission on Public Defense Services said they would no longer be able to pay their counsel.
Well, I think what it says is that we recognize the work has already been done and we need to pay our bills. I think that's first and foremost. But I think secondly, it's recognizing that constitutional obligation.
According to the House Chair of the Joint Standing Committee on Judiciary, Representative Amy Kuhn, if enacted, the bill would immediately provide funding to pay the lawyers who represent low-income criminal defendants and parents in court.
This is an issue that can't wait. We are out of money.
The executive director of the Maine Commission on Public Defense Services shared with us on Wednesday that if the lack of funding is not addressed urgently, many lawyers will not see payments for their services until July.
What I'm afraid is going to happen is that people are going to step back from cases. And I'm afraid that's going to happen because we're not going to pay them.
The emergency measure provides one-time funding. Representative Ken Fredette of Newport spoke in support of this bill, but says the legislature should begin analyzing the cost of long-term support for PDS.
The cost of this program is gone up each and every year. And at some point in time, we need to understand why those costs continue to go up. Because this is competing with other really important needs that state government has.
The bill will now be headed back to the Senate, where it previously received unanimous support. If passed, it will eventually land on the governor's desk. In Augusta, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
In other news this morning, Augusta police have arrested 3 people for breaking into ATM machines. Authorities say it was around 11 o'clock on Tuesday night when they responded to a burglary alarm at Trademark Federal Credit Union on Edison Drive. About an hour later, they were called to a similar burglary alarm at Connected Credit Union on Civic Center Drive. That's when they spotted a Toyota sedan fleeing at a high rate of speed and gave chase. The vehicle was later located and the 3 male occupants were arrested Thursday and charged with burglary and criminal mischief. All 3 were taken to the Kennebec County Jail, where they were later picked up by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
The Maine Forest Service is trying to find the people responsible for dumping trash into a stream. The trash was found in the Matagotis stream off Route 169 in Prentice Township. That's an unorganized area in northern Penobscot County near Springfield. Forest rangers have been going through that debris with hopes of finding items that will help them identify the culprit. Numerous large bags of trash were left scattered around the area and in the water itself. You can contact the Bangor Regional Communications Center at 973-3700 if you have any information that will help in that investigation.
Meanwhile, the State Fire Marshal's office is investigating alleged arson fires in Fort Fairfield. Spokesperson Shannon Moss says local firefighters responded to a structure fire at a Fort Fairfield park and ride. They found smoke coming from an old public works garage. The investigation revealed another fire was allegedly set in an unoccupied house, but just before that garage fire. Moss says both incidents have been deemed arson. Fort Fairfield Fire and Rescue and Fire Marshal's office investigators located 2 people they suspected were involved. 19-year-old Leo Rideout Jr. of Fort Fairfield was arrested and charged with arson. Moss says the investigation is ongoing and additional arrests may follow.
Democratic lawmakers are pushing for several bills this session that aim to make child care more accessible and affordable for Maine families. Senate President Maddie Daughtry outlined 3 bills that she's introducing this session. The measures aim to provide financial support to low-income and vulnerable families in need of child care, strengthen the child care workforce, and also establish a grant program that would allow schools and child care providers to partner on meal delivery programs. Senator Daughtry says these proposals align with the needs that she heard directly from child care centers, educators, and parents during her statewide child care tour last summer.
If we want Maine to be a place where young families can put down roots, where businesses can grow, and where communities can thrive, we need to take childcare seriously.
And the bills are part of the Lower Cost, Stronger Communities policy package unveiled at the start of the legislative session. Senator Henry Igwerson of Arundel and Representative Tavis Hessen-Fuss of Reedfield also shared an update on bills they introduced that aim to address Maine's child care crisis. To learn more about those, you can visit our website at foxbangor.com.
A local fire department has a new tool to help them give patients better care. It's called One Dose and One Weight, and it's designed to improve medication accuracy. The device sits on the frame of the stretcher and weighs the patient based on the pressure from the stretcher. Then it calculates how much medication a patient should get. The Herman Fire Department has adopted that system.
The big thing for me is making sure we do good patient care. So if we can mitigate the calculations at 3 a.m. by having something that takes away the math, even better for everyone.
Delane says medication error is one of the biggest problems in EMS. He says this also allows emergency responders to focus on other patient needs.
Wow, that's a great tool.
It sure is. The time now is 8:10. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, thousands of students from across vacation land gathered in central Maine this week for the annual Skills USA Maine competition.
We'll join them coming up, but first another check of that forecast. We'll have sunshine for a good part of the day, but the clouds will increase later on, with highs near 29 degrees. Snow showers can be expected tonight, and yes, it could accumulate too. Lows dropping down to the upper 20s. Rain and snow to start the day tomorrow, with highs near 41 degrees. We'll be right back.
Even if your child has moderate to severe eczema, they can feel the flow, feel the breeze. And Dupixent helps them feel the heal. It helps calm a key source of inflammation under the skin that can cause eczema. Dupixent is the only biologic therapy approved to treat kids as young as 6 months for noticeably clearer skin and less itch. Severe allergic reactions, including skin reactions, can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor of new or worsening eye problems like eye pain or vision changes, skin symptoms, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop other treatments without talking to your doctor. Dupixent. Help heal their skin from within so they can stay ahead of eczema. Find an eczema specialist and ask about Dupixent today.
Ready to create your backyard oasis? Alexander's Professional Landscaping will work with you to create your perfect outdoor space. Work one-on-one with our landscape designer to create a unique garden to fit your family's personal aesthetics and lifestyle. Have our pros install your new lawn, garden, or patio. Schedule a consultation today by calling 573-4497. Alexander's Professional Landscaping, the way landscaping should be.
Is your Maine issued license or ID expiring soon? Good news! You may be able to skip the trip to the BMV and renew it online, including if your license or state ID is Real ID compliant. Visit maine.gov/SOS/BMV today to find out if you're eligible to renew online. Brought to you by this station, the Maine Association of Broadcasters, and the Office of the Secretary of State.
The Bangor International Airport and the Maine Troop Greeters are teaming up for a very special project. They're hoping to send messages of encouragement to our troops from Maine who are deployed far from home. They're kicking off a program called Mail Call and invite the community to send cards, letters, and drawings to brighten the troops' day.
We thought it would be a good idea to reach out to some of the Mainers and some of the Maine kids who are deployed and send them a little bit of home.
After 35 years of welcoming troops as they land in Bangor, Tinsman says the greeters know how much words of gratitude and a piece of home can mean. If you would like to participate, you can mail your cards and letters to BGR Mail Call, 287 Godfrey Boulevard in Bangor, Maine. We'll make sure we get that address on our website as well.
RSU 22, which includes Hamden, Newburgh, Winterport, and Frankfort, is dealing with a budget surplus. But as school leaders explain, that extra funding creates more fiscal challenges than opportunities. Our Callie Warren has the details.
People are very sensitive to taxes and if there's any extra money anywhere, like what's going on.
RSU 22 has a roughly $6 million unallocated surplus, equaling around 14% of their budget. They need to reduce that figure to 9% in order to comply with state statute.
We can put it forward into our school budget, which essentially lowers what the towns have to pay. Or the voters can approve to put that into different funds.
Seavey says a different challenge comes in the form of the current fiscal environment. Taxes in the district's towns are rapidly increasing, meaning there's more pressure to be strict with the budget overall.
We could come in with a 0% increase, but yet the town's assessment will still increase. The taxes or the assessment to the towns is increasing.
And declining student enrollment means they could eventually see a decrease in funding.
With fewer students, we have to look at what resources the district needs to still deliver what the students need.
While those issues are not immediate threats, they'll have to be considered in the future. In the meantime, taxpayers will have the final say when they vote on the budget in June. In Hamden, Callie Warren, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Hundreds of students from around the state are putting their skills to the test this week, competing for a chance to represent Maine on a national stage. Our Alex Schley takes us inside the Skills USA Maine competition, where students are showcasing the trades that could help shape their futures.
Thousands of students from across Vacation Land gathered in central Maine this week for the annual Skills USA Maine competition. The two-day event brings together students from career and technical programs from across the state, giving them a chance to showcase the skills they've learned in the classroom.
The best part about Skills USA is just like the fact that I'm planning for my career and my future in such a fun way, and being able to just like go through all these amazing opportunities at such a young age.
This year, about 1,400 students from nearly 30 career and technical schools are taking part. The competition features more than 100 different trade categories, ranging from traditional skilled trades to business and leadership events.
Everything from automotive, baking, culinary arts, all the way through welding.
Winners from each category will go on to represent Maine at the National Skills USA competition in June.
Right now, right here, we have the best of the best students, future workforce of Maine here these next few days competing.
Thursday's events featured both middle school and scholastic level competitions. Ellsworth High School senior Destiny Kane, who is running to be a post-secondary officer, says the experiences Skills USA Maine gave her have provided an unparalleled opportunity to build skills and better prepare her for the future.
All of the skills I've learned from this has helped me prepare myself for college and just how to run in the world.
The competition continues Friday, followed by an awards ceremony at the Cross Insurance Center. In Bangor, Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Opportunity for them.
It really is. The time now is 8:17. After the break, authorities are investigating 2 attacks on U.S. soil amid the ongoing war in Iran. We'll have more on that ahead.
Plus, we'll see how the University of Maine is gearing up for Maine Maple Sunday weekend. We'll learn about their Sugar Shack and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Chevy trucks are as capable and dependable as the Chevy people who drive them. You probably know one. Your sister. Your buddy. The ones who always show up. They all have that little extra something. And maybe you got it too.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Right now, get over $7,300 total value on this 2026 Chevy Silverado. Plus, Costco Executive members can get a $12.50 members-only incentive.
Furniture shopping is all about choices. Like, should I wait for a sale or get the lowest and best price every day at Bob's? Should I get my extendable Betty dining set with gray, russet, avocado, or teal chairs? Do I want my Elm real marble dining set with a natural finish or espresso finish? When I'm hosting a party on my show-stopping Beaumont dining set, what am I gonna put in the hidden drawers?
Candy. Everyone loves candy. Get feature pack dining and wow, worthy prices.
Oh my Bob.
Bring your new kitchen to life with help from the Kitchen, Bath, and Flooring Division by Hammond Lumber Company. Bring in your ideas or get inspired by Hammond's extensive showroom displays. Your Hammond sales rep will help you create a materials list and cost estimate, and Hammond's designers will help you visualize your space before the work begins. And Hammond delivers from 34 locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Your new kitchen begins when you bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner.
Carpets looking tired, stained, or just plain dirty? It's time to call the pros. At C&R Carpet Cleaning, we use deep steam technology to remove dirt, odors, pet hair and allergens fast. Fresh, clean carpets, healthier home. That's the CNR promise. Visit our Facebook page for a free estimate or call us today, 631-7380. Step into clean with CNR Carpet Cleaning.
The Penobscot County town that is home to the University of Maine's flagship campus is celebrating a big milestone. Happy 220th birthday to Orono. The town was officially incorporated on March 12, 1806.
Here are some vintage shots from back in the day. Pat's Pizza's been around for a very long time. According to the town's Facebook page, Pat Farnsworth opened his cafe in 1931 and began selling the pizza we know and love in the 1950s. From 1861 to 1865 and 1869 to 1879, local Samuel Libby served as the town's postmaster from the brick building at the corner of Main and Mill.
The town's post office would be relocated in the 1930s, and you can go to the town's Facebook page for a look back at time and more of Orono's history. Happy birthday to the folks there in Orono.
Those pictures are really
cool. Yeah,
cool.
I love those.
Well, within the vastness that is the University of Maine's forest, there's a small shack that's gearing up for one of Maine's sweetest weekends.
Our Doug Banks and chief photographer Dave Simpson brings us inside the Thomas J. Corcoran Sugar House in Old Town.
All right, well, this is our evaporator unit. We've got raw sap coming out of our head tank. The sap comes down through the float box, and when the sap comes in, it's mostly water. It's only 2% sugar. We've got a lot of boiling to do. So we've got this big evaporator, which sits on top of this iron wood stove and boil all that water off and up to the holes in the roof. There's a divider here that separates the right from the left side. It enters this front pan. It has to go all the way the length of one pan before it crosses into the next. And as it goes, it gets sweeter and sweeter, and by the time we get to this fourth pan, it's getting really, really close to maple syrup. We draw it off when it's almost done. We run it through some filters. Once it's at the perfect consistency, we take it and put it straight into the bottles from there. Oh, outside in the sugar bush? Yes, that's how we collect the sap out of the individual trees. On a spot like this one where we don't have any real topography to work with, we have to put individual buckets on trees, physically walk to each tree on snowshoes with collector buckets, pick the sap out of each one, and carry it back to a collector trailer. Common misconception that you have to use sugar maple. We can use any kind of maple. I mean, sugar maple is great, it's got some advantages, but about half the trees we've got here are red maples. We keep records with a Sharpie marker on our wall as to the day-to-day productivity in terms of quarts. Anything over about 50 gallons or so, that's probably about right in the wheelhouse of where we usually wind up. Some years it doesn't go that well, but there's a thing we can do to control that.
For me, it's all just this horrible time of year. There's mud everywhere, and you produce this absolutely beautiful, magical thing just by taking sap out of a tree and boiling it. Crack that valve, and there's that stream of perfect syrup coming out of that. I don't care who you are, everybody just stands there and watches that. It's amazing.
You could almost smell it now.
That's really cool. You can tune in tonight on ABC 7 News at 6 to hear Doug Banks' full conversation with them. We'll learn where folks can find their products during May Maple Sunday weekend, and that's coming up really soon on March 21st and 22nd.
Another sign that spring is here.
It sure is. Let's get a full look at our forecast with meteorologist Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Craig and Janessa, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Clifton General Store. Start your morning right at Clifton General Store. Fresh coffee and hot breakfast, family owned and operated. Alrighty, here we go. We have a winter weather advisory that is posted until Saturday at around 2 p.m. for snowfall that will be on the way coming up later on tonight, along with a small craft advisory until this afternoon at around 2 o'clock along the coast. Wave heights are active out there at around 2 to 6 feet, even higher further off towards the north and east, and even wave heights at around 6 to even 12 feet further out towards sea. So the ocean definitely a mess with a system that is tracking off towards the east. You can see the last of the precipitation tracking off to the east. That's a system stirring up the ocean at this moment in time. You can see more activity off towards the west heading parts of the upper Midwest, and that is currently tracking off towards the east at this moment in time. So futurecast for us, sunshine to start, more clouds during the afternoon. We'll be watching for more snowfall coming up later on tonight, and now we'll continue as we head towards your Saturday and may switch over to rain at times, which may knock our snowfall accumulations down just a little bit. But by Saturday night, we'll start to see the snowfall backing off, and Sunday looking like a nice day for us. So I'm thinking around 2 to 5 inches for us before we're all finished up. So that's the current general idea for snowfall. Lesser totals closer toward the coastline and a little bit more as you head towards the inland areas. So again, a wide range. It says around 2 to 3 inches, but a few areas up to 5 inches cannot be ruled out before we're all finished up. So your forecast coming up for today looks like this: increasing clouds, breezy out there, highs in the upper 30s, west wind at around 20 miles per hour. Overnight, okay, the snow moves in. We'll have lows in the upper 20s and that south wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, rain and some snow possible. Low 40s for the high. It will be breezy. East wind at around 25 miles per hour. And let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by Clifton General Store. Partly cloudy for your Sunday with highs in the upper 30s. Rain chances coming up Monday, and again for your Tuesday. Both days will feature high temperatures in the mid-50s.
There's a lot to love at the all-new Quirk Subaru in Bangor. Lease 2026 Crosstrek for $299 per month, or save $3,500 on the Subaru Forester. New building, better deals. It's your Subaru. Find it at Quirk, Hogan Road, Bangor.
Meet the toughest team in the game. Bad Boy Mowers and Bad Boy Tractors. These powerhouses will do whatever it takes to win. Putting in the work with unrivaled engineering, game-changing features like heated seats and an Alpine entertainment system, plus durable implements and style that's in a league of its own. Bad Boy Mowers and Tractors. Power, performance, attitude.
A sharp pain in his chest. He knew it was his heart, but 2 hours from the big city hospital could tragically mean the end. But it wasn't. Thanks to Senator Susan Collins' tireless fight for Maine's rural hospitals. Because of Senator Collins' work, his local hospital had recently received up-to-date diagnostic equipment and upgraded facilities, all paid for with new federal funding. Lives are being saved. Call and thank our Senator Susan Collins for delivering this lifeline for Maine.
This weekend on Fox.
Let's go!
The biggest event in professional bass fishing is here.
Finally!
The Bassmaster Classic.
They brought the big uns.
It's for all the money,
Woo!
all the pageantry,
That's what we're talking about.
all the bragging rights.
Get you some of that!
The best anglers in the world battle freshwater's hardest fighter.
Look at that thing!
It's the Bassmaster Classic, Saturday and Sunday on Fox.
It's Ram Truck Month at Quirk Ram in Bangor. Ram Bighorn is a winter powerhouse lease for $475 a month. First payment only due at signing. Or get elite performance with Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited lease for $439 a month. It's your Ram, it's your Jeep. Find it at Quirk.
Now to the Middle East and growing concern about oil supplies. This war is causing, quote, the largest oil supply disruption in history. Iran is vowing to continue blocking a critical shipping route, and overnight President Trump issued a new threat on social media saying, quote, watch what happens to these deranged scumbags today. ABC's Marcus Moore has the latest.
Overnight, rescue efforts underway after a refueling plane went down in Iraq. The KC-135 aircraft is part of military operations against Iran, but officials say the crash was not because of hostile or friendly fire. Central Command says 2 aircraft were involved. The other plane landed safely. But 5 crew members were reportedly aboard the plane that crashed. And unlike fighter jets, the 135 is not equipped with parachutes. Meanwhile, Iran's new supreme leader has issued his first public statement through a woman on state TV, vowing Iran will continue targeting global oil supplies by blocking the critical Strait of Hormuz. Just one day after striking oil tankers in the Persian Gulf, the New York Times reports Iran has now started laying more mines in the strait. President Trump earlier this week threatened to hit Iran, quote, 20 times harder if it blocked oil shipments. Any U.S. Navy escorts for ships are likely weeks away. But overnight, a new move from the U.S. Oil prices dropping slightly after the U.S. government issued a temporary license that will allow countries to buy more oil from Russia.
Those barrels are going to end up in China anyway. It is unfortunate, and we hope that it will be in a micro period that they will benefit.
The U.S. and dozens of other countries already announced they're releasing 400 million barrels of oil from emergency reserves. But analysts warn that will likely do little to cool prices.
And overnight, a Russian official bragged about Russia making money off of this war, claiming Moscow is earning $150 million per day since the war began. And he said, quote, "This is just the beginning of the largest energy crisis ever." Marcus Moore, ABC News, Doha.
Now, authorities are saying 4 crew members were killed when the KC-135 air refueling tanker crashed in Iraq. It is the same type of tanker that's used by Maine's Air National Guard. That particular plane was based out of California. Well, meanwhile, in other news this morning, authorities are investigating 2 attacks on U.S. soil amid the ongoing war with Iran. An ROTC instructor was gunned down at Virginia's Old Dominion University by a former Army National Guardsman with ties to ISIS. And in Michigan, one of the largest synagogues in the country came under attack there, a truck bursting through the front doors. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has more.
This morning, the man accused of ramming his truck into this synagogue outside Detroit has now been identified. Police say 41-year-old Ayman Mohammed Ghazali, who's originally from Lebanon, died after crashing through the doors and driving straight down the hall of Temple Israel in West Bloomfield, exchanging gunfire with security guards.
I saw someone lying on the ground, and that person happened to be one of the head of security who got hit by the car. And then after that, I heard gunshots, bang, 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 bang.
Sources say an unidentified chemical agent inside the truck Ghazali was driving ignited. 30 officers were treated for smoke inhalation, but 140 children who were in the preschool inside the building were not injured.
My God, I never thought I'd be standing here looking at my temple surrounded by SWAT and FBI.
Police say he recently claimed that his relatives were killed during Israeli airstrikes in Lebanon. A short time before the synagogue attack in Michigan,
active shooter on the ODU campus.
Gunfire erupted at Old Dominion University in Virginia. Sources say a man walked into a classroom, asked if it was an ROTC class, and then shot and killed the instructor. 2 students were wounded.
We started running, and that's when we heard gunshots.
There were students that were in that room that subdued him and rendered him no longer alive. I don't know how else to say it, but they basically were able to terminate the threat.
The suspect, identified as 36-year-old Mohammed Jallo, is a former member of the Virginia National Guard who was convicted in 2016 of trying to provide material support to ISIS. He was sentenced to 11 years in prison, but was released early after serving 8 years. The attacks in Virginia and Michigan are raising concerns about security here at home as war rages in the Middle East.
What keeps me up at night is that we are in a highly dangerous threat period, and the federal government is reducing the resources needed to address those threats.
And police in cities around the country are now stepping up patrols, especially outside synagogues and other locations connected to the Jewish community. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Coming up on the second half of the newscast, we'll be joined once again by FMP Sarah Stewart to discuss how to break a fast during breakfast.
That and more straight ahead on Good Morning Maine.
There are so many fun things to do in Maine. Now you can enjoy more for less. Check out half-off deals from foxbangor.com.
Discover the charm of Warren's Waterfront Restaurant, Bucksport's only waterfront dining. Relax in a cozy atmosphere where every visit feels like home. Indulge in fresh, flavorful dishes paired with stunning river views. Join us at Warren's Waterfront, your perfect escape.
There's a limited supply available. It's on sale right now. Save with half-off deals from foxbangor.com.
I worry, will the next generation of Americans grow up with the friends and mentors and teachers and coaches who shaped us? Will they value their creativity now that anything can be imagined by an app? Will they learn to think for themselves and find work to support their family? I worry that AI is being designed to replace us and used in ways it never should be. That's why we should have a say in the future of AI.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Friday, March 13th, 2026, and this is also National Earmuff Day.
It was on this day in 1877 when Maine's own Chester Greenwood received a patent for the earmuffs. The Farmington native was just 15 when he came up with the way to keep his ears warm while ice skating. It quickly became a regular part of winter fashion and a necessity construction workers and others who spent a lot of time outside would wear. It was one of many inventions created by Greenwood, including a steel-toothed rake and a machine for producing wooden spools.
He had a necessity to do it, so he did something. I think the story goes that he got some wire from the shop or something like that, and then his grandmother helped him with the stitching.
So
and
cool.
then it caught on, and it created jobs around the state of Maine as well.
Definitely.
So,
yeah, one of Maine's very own.
yeah, very interesting guy.
Yes.
All right, time for some more history. It was on this date back in 1781. Astronomer William Herschel discovered Uranus, the 7th planet in the solar system. In 1925 on this date, Tennessee lawmakers approved the Butler Act, which prohibited public schools from teaching the theory of evolution. That bill was later challenged in court in the famous Scopes monkey trial, but it wasn't until 1967 when that law was repealed. And in 1942, the U.S. Army began training dogs for the newly established War Dogs program, also known as the Canine Corps. The practice of training dogs for military purposes was largely abandoned after World War I, but it became necessary as World War II spread around the globe. They performed duties ranging from mine detection to actual combat duty.
Very cool. Yeah. And in 1991, Exxon paid $1 billion in fines and for the cleanup following the Exxon Valdez oil spill in Alaska. And in 2012, after 244 years of publication, Encyclopedia Britannica announced it would discontinue its print version.
Many homes had that set of encyclopedias.
Don't need it anymore.
No, you can just Google everything.
Yes. And lastly, in 2020, President Trump declared a national emergency in response to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Today's birthdays include actor William H. Macy, who is 76 today, rapper Jack Harlow is 28, and actress Annabeth Gish is 55 years old today. We'd like to also wish you a very happy birthday if your birthday is today.
We'll turn things right back over to meteorologist Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Janessa. Happy Friday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Clifton General Store. Start your morning right at Clifton General Store. Fresh coffee and hot breakfast. Family owned and operated. Alrighty, let's get into things this morning. We have a winter weather advisory that is up until 2 o'clock for your Saturday. We have snowfall that will be on the way that will measure up and cause a little bit of travel difficulty as we do move forward. A small craft advisory also up until 2 o'clock this afternoon along the coast. In the meantime, we're pretty quiet out there. Just a little bit of wind that we'll need to keep an eye on as we have one system that is clearing out of the area at this moment in time. So overall, we'll have more clouds that will be on the way with more activity that is off toward the west at this moment in time. So futurecast moving forward, we're clear to start. More clouds on the way this afternoon, and later on tonight we'll have more snow on the way, and it could be heavy at times as well. So of course, gusty winds reaching up to about 20 miles per hour at times. It will back off a little bit overnight with more gusty winds as we head towards tomorrow. All right, your hourly forecast moving forward. Sunshine today. We'll have more clouds as we head towards the afternoon. Temperatures getting close to 40. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Janessa.
Thank you, Devin. Still to come here this morning, Max Sturm with sports.
Don't go away.
We can go into a room and have absolutely nothing in there, nothing on the windows, no color, no character, no tone to a room.
That's, I think, where we're strongest, is being able to help someone envision what's going to go in that window.
And we leave, it's totally transformed into something that the customer wants it to be. We've often been told we make a room look better just by leaving it.
Even if you have moderate to severe eczema, you can feel the rhythm, feel the flow. And Dupixent helps you feel the heal. It helps calm the key source of inflammation under the skin that can cause eczema. Some adults saw fast itch relief after the first dose and long-lasting clear skin at 1 year. Many even saw 90% clear skin. Severe allergic reactions, including skin reactions, can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor of new or worsening eye problems like eye pain or vision changes, skin symptoms, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop other treatments without talking to your doctor. Stay ahead of eczema and help heal your skin from within. Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists. Ask your eczema specialist about Dupixent today.
Want to save $1,000? Switch to Spectrum and we guarantee you will. Seriously, you can hold us to it. Switch to Spectrum fiber-powered internet and 2 mobile lines for just $30 a month each. That's $1,000 in real savings in your first year, guaranteed. Or we'll cover the difference. We call it the Spectrum Savings Guarantee. So call this number now, switch, and save $1,000 on internet and mobile. It's a guaranteed no-brainer.
You know Matt pretty well. Did he give you any advice?
He said that I should use 26 words or more.
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22.
Welcome back in, folks. The Maine women's basketball team is looking to win their second America East title in 3 years. Our Jack Webb went up to Orono to check in with the Black Bears before their trip to Burlington.
Put everything into the season, and we've had this day circled on our calendars all year.
An America East championship. That's what the Black Bears have been working towards since their season ended last March. Now, all of that hard work comes down to one game. And it's the top-seeded Vermont Catamounts standing in their way from accomplishing that goal.
We're excited. I mean, I think Vermont has been the best team all season. I think everyone has said that, and I think they have been. You know, we're just really excited to be in the championship game and excited for a great game.
The Black Bears and Catamounts split their regular season meetings. Vermont won in Orono by 11 in January, but Maine returned the favor, winning by 9 in Burlington at the beginning of February. So what was the difference between the win and the loss?
Focusing. I don't think we played our best offensive game, and I think we had to make little tweaks.
I think the execution, our scout, what we focused on, and yeah, like I said, like Vermont's a great team, and I think we were just really locked in and focused when we were playing there.
The Black Bears are just 2 years removed from beating Vermont in the 2023-24 America East title game. That experience has them feeling even more grateful for another opportunity to wear the crown.
You know, there are some coaches that are in this profession for a very long time and have never had that experience. And so for us to have had that experience before, we don't take it for granted. We know how hard it is. And just a sense of gratitude that our players are able to feel it because it's such a special feeling.
Those past champions are ready to put it on the line yet again, knowing this is their last shot.
This team, we've worked so hard, and I'm proud of how far we've got, right? But I don't think we came this far just to get this far. So I'm really excited for this game and what we have to show, like what we're going to show.
This is it, and I don't want to leave this place with any regrets. And you know, you might have a little regrets here and there. It's 4 years, it's a long time, but in my last month of playing for this team, I don't want to say like what if. And I think I'm just going to leave it all out there and do it for the state of Maine, do it for this conference, and do it for this team.
The America East Championship tips off Friday at 5 p.m. on ESPNU. From Orono, Jack Webb, ABC7 Fox 22 Sports.
Folks, make sure to tune in on Friday as I will be at that game providing the coverage. You won't want to miss it. It should be a fantastic game between Maine and Vermont. But right now, the World Baseball Classic is about to begin bracket play with the quarterfinals starting this Friday. So let's go ahead and take a look at the current bracket. First game up is the Pool D winner, Dominican Republic, taking on Korea on Friday at 6:30 p.m., followed by what seems to be the matchup of destiny in these Battle of Nations series, as Pool A winner Canada will host the United States at 8 p.m. in Miami. Fast forward to Saturday, Pool B winner Italy will take on Puerto Rico at 3 p.m. Italy, super underrated team. They beat the United States earlier this week, and Japan will host Venezuela at 9 p.m. And now we'll bring you a feel-good hockey story out of Rhode Island. A little over a month ago, Blackstone Valley High School hockey player Colin Dorgan lost his mother, older brother, and grandfather in a shooting that took place at a hockey arena. Despite the tragedy, Dorgan continued to play for his team through it all, and in overtime of the Division II semifinal game versus Portsmouth, Dorgan sent his team to the state final with this incredible play. Just an awesome, awesome play. So happy for Blackstone. We'll go ahead and go to the Patriots now, who held a media meet and greet for their new free agent signings on Thursday. Many of the newest Pats are making the trek to Foxborough, including former Packers star wide receiver Romeo Doubs and Pro Bowl safety Kevin Byard. Both are elated to be a part of the Patriots family and say joining the Patriots was a decision they were happy to make, as they're hoping to help lead this team back to the Super Bowl.
I think that the culture of this team, this organization, obviously a winning culture, but I think the pieces that they have in place, whether it's the quarterback, the secondary, all those things, I think it makes it very attractive for any free agent want to come here. So I think it was a fairly easy decision.
I felt like it was an opportunity I felt like I couldn't pass on in terms of just continuously staying grounded and growing on and off the field. I really believe this is the place where I can fulfill that.
Dobbs will get a chance to be the #1 there in New England, and Byard led the league in interceptions last year, so I'm sure they're excited to be there, as well as the Patriots and their fans excited to have them. For right now, that's all the time we'll have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Dreaming of a new garage or custom build? Patriot Landscaping and Construction delivers from frame to finish. Expert craftsmanship, durable designs, and quality you can trust. We get it done right. Call Patriot Landscaping and Construction today. Let's build your future together.
How much? I can do this myself.
Rock Auto has the same parts professional mechanics use, many that you can easily install for a fraction of the cost. Do it yourself with Rock Auto.
When lives are on the line, they don't hesitate to run towards danger. Unfortunately, the same gear that protects them from deadly flames can be hazardous to their health. Senator Susan Collins to the rescue. Susan helped introduce legislation that protects firefighters and first responders from cancer-causing forever chemicals in their equipment. Because their job is dangerous enough. Call Senator Collins and thank her for protecting Maine's first responders.
When Blazing Trails located in Lincoln want to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Blazing Trails is Lincoln's #1 trusted dispensary, providing outstanding product and customer service to Eastern and Central Maine.
Think you're good at trivia? Arrange these holidays, these historic firsts, these animals. By the way,
I have no idea.
Congratulations, you have built the perfect line. I'm Deborah Norville, and this is The Perfect Line.
Onion rings before, in between onion rings and pizza.
Definitely after. This is what happy looks like.
Weekdays at 10 on Fox 22.
Dreaming of a new garage or custom build? Patriot Landscaping and Construction delivers from frame to finish. Expert craftsmanship, durable designs, and quality you can trust. We get it done right. Call Patriot Landscaping and Construction today. Let's build your future together.
Welcome back, everyone. Today, once again, we were joined by FMP Sarah Stewart, and she's here to talk to us today about how to break a fast. She's put together a short little video for us to understand that information. Let's take a look at that.
Today, I want to talk about something simple yet powerful, and that's how we break our fast.
In a culture where we snack and graze all day, we've normalized constant eating, but metabolically, this does not work in our favor. When we eat 2 solid, protein-forward meals instead of grazing from morning until night, we allow insulin levels to come down, we improve satiety signaling, and we actually allow our bodies to access stored energy.
Now let's talk about breakfast, or really, breaking the fast.
Instead of starting the day with refined carbs, I recommend breaking your fast with fat, fiber, and protein, and aiming for at least 30 grams of protein at that first meal. Why 30 grams, you ask? Because that's the threshold that activates muscle protein synthesis, the process that tells your body to maintain and build lean muscle. Lean muscle mass directly increases metabolic rate, improves blood sugar stability, and supports healthy aging. Protein also stimulates satiety hormones like GLP-1 and peptide PYY. And fats stabilize blood sugar and slows digestion. And fiber supports the gut microbiome and also helps to keep you full. And when you combine all three, you reduce cravings later in the day. Let me show you 3 examples. First, we have 4 eggs cooked in butter or avocado oil, a half an avocado with either a sweet potato or a slice of Ezekiel bread. Add a dollop of plain Greek yogurt or serve with a glass of milk and you easily hit 30 grams. Second is either a Greek yogurt bowl using full-fat Greek yogurt or whipped cottage cheese, which has a milder and sweeter flavor, topped with cinnamon, blueberries, chia seeds, hemp seeds, walnuts, or really any type of nut you'd like. And third, almond flour cottage cheese pancakes. They're made with almond flour, cottage cheese, eggs. That lands about 23 to 25 grams of protein. Pair that with a glass of milk and you're right at 30 grams.
This is how we start our day that stabilizes blood sugar, supports hormones, builds muscle, and keeps you full.
So just remember, fat, fiber, protein, 30 grams, start there.
I'm Sarah Stewart, family nurse practitioner, reminding you to nourish your body, feed your future, and check your labels.
Well, Sarah, thanks so much for coming in once again and joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
So you talked about and touched in the video, you know, the fibers, the proteins, all of that good stuff for the morning and how to break your fast. But maybe what happens if you have that big coffee or the donut or the muffin and has that negative effect?
Yeah. So what happens if you start your day with like a big sugary coffee, those refined carbs like cereal, bagel, muffin, pastry? What's gonna happen is your blood sugar is gonna spike, and then more often than not, you're gonna have a drop right after, and you're gonna feel tired, you know, brain fog, maybe dizzy, lightheaded, nauseous. You know, 88 to 93% of the population is metabolically unhealthy, and so it's called reactive hypoglycemia.
Okay.
And then you get hungry again, and then you eat and you feel better.
Right.
So you kind of get stuck on this, you know, glucose roller coaster, I call it, by starting your day with that sugary breakfast.
Okay.
And there's not much there for you. You know, what is that meal doing for you other than making you sick and tired? You know?
Yeah, that's a good point. The examples you had there with the eggs and the avocado and all that other stuff, probably a much better choice.
Absolutely, yeah. And you know, those meals, you know, the eggs and the yogurt bowl, those cost $2.70 to make.
Oh, that's it?
That's it. And then the pancakes with a glass of milk, that's $3.50. So don't let them tell you it's too expensive to eat healthy.
Right.
Don't let them tell you you don't have time. Pick something, you know, repeatable that you can meal prep ahead of time and rotate in during the week, and then you have a really nice, healthy start to your day.
Absolutely.
And the rest of the day is going to go so much better.
Yeah, today we have an example of something that you should eat in the morning. From your cookbook, what are these called?
Should or shouldn't, I'm not sure, but no, they're naturally sweetened. They are coconut caramel or caramel coconut crunch cookies.
Okay.
But naturally sweetened with dates, and they have pecans in them, and they have some steel cut oats and some coconut, of course.
Yummy.
Yeah.
Lovely. I'm going to try one after we get off air.
Okay.
And I'll give one to Craig. I'll make sure he gets
Yeah,
one too.
of course.
But Sarah, we're running out of time. For more information for people where they want to find you on social media, where can they go?
Yeah, so I have a Facebook group called Worth the Wait, WEIGHT.
Yep.
I have a website too, but I share a lot of information on the Facebook group, and that's the place to find me.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Sarah, thanks so much once again.
Thank you.
We'll turn things over to Devin Biggs for a final look at that forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Janessa, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Clifton General Store. Start your morning right at Clifton General Store. Fresh coffee and hot breakfast, family owned and operated. Alrighty, here we go. We have a winter weather advisory that is posted until Saturday at around 2 p.m. for snowfall that will be on the way coming up later on tonight, along with a small craft advisory area until this afternoon at around 2 o'clock along the coast. Wave heights are active out there at around 2 to 6 feet, even higher further off towards the north and east, and even wave heights at around 6 to even 12 feet further out towards sea. So the ocean definitely a mess with a system that is tracking off towards the east. You can see the last of the precipitation tracking off to the east. That's a system stirring up the ocean at this moment in time. You can see more activity off towards the west, hitting parts of the upper Midwest, and that is currently tracking off towards the east at this moment in time. So futurecast for us, sunshine to start, more clouds during the afternoon. We'll be watching for more snowfall coming up later on tonight, and now we'll continue as we head towards your Saturday and may switch over to rain at times, which may knock our snowfall accumulations down just a little bit, but by Saturday night we'll start to see the snowfall backing off, and Sunday looking like a nice day for us. So I'm thinking around 2 to 5 inches for us before we're all finished up. So that's the current general idea for snowfall. Lesser totals closer toward the coastline and a little bit more as you head towards the inland areas. So again, a wide range. It says around 2 to 3 inches, but a few areas up to 5 inches cannot be ruled out before we're all finished up. So your forecast coming up for today looks like this. Increasing clouds, breezy out there, highs in the upper 30s, west wind at around 20 miles per hour. Overnight, okay, the snow moves in. We'll have lows in the upper 20s and that south wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, rain and some snow possible. Low 40s for the high. It will be breezy. East wind at around 25 miles per hour. And let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by Clifton General Store. Partly cloudy for your Sunday with highs in the upper 30s. Rain chances coming up Monday and again for your Tuesday. Both days will feature high temperatures in the mid-50s.
Chevy trucks are as capable and dependable as the Chevy people who drive them. You probably know one. Your sister. Your buddy. The ones who always show up. They all have that little extra something. And maybe you got it too.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Right now, get over $7,300 total value on this 2026 Chevy Silverado. Plus, Costco Executive members can get a $12.50 members-only incentive.
Brandywine Graphics makes it easy. We are the top source for screen printing, embroidery, branded merchandise, and direct-to-garment printing. With decades of experience, state-of-the-art equipment, and a commitment to excellence, why trust your apparel products with anyone else? And now, Brandywine Graphics can easily launch online stores for your school or organization. Simply design your products from brands like Eddie Bauer, Carhartt, and more. Share the link and we'll do the rest. Like we said, Brandywine Graphics makes it easy. Find out more at brandywinegraphics.com or at our Hamden location. From the heart of Maine, where rugged beauty meets timeless craftsmanship, Richard Henderson & Sons Masonry, taming the outdoors through groundwork, retaining walls and seawalls, building custom fireplaces that become the centerpiece of your home, crafting granite steps and patios that invite you outdoors, designing hardscapes that turn yards into living spaces, built to last, crafted for life. Richard Henderson & Sons Masonry, quality in every stone.
Get ready for mowing season, for hauling season, and exploring season. Get ready for tearing it up, cutting it down, and working all around season. Because it's bad boy season, all year long. Bad boy, power, performance, attitude.
Pugs in a blanket? It's what happened when Pug Nation Rescue of LA brought pugs to the Belmont Senior Living Facility in Los Angeles. The seniors made the blankets for the pugs, who were rescued and are waiting to be adopted. And on Tuesday, they even enjoyed some playtime with the seniors there.
Isn't that neat? It gave them something to do,
Yeah.
making those blankets and everything like that. And
I
then
love
they get
that.
to meet the dogs that will benefit from it all.
Yeah, nice little friendship there.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time that we have left for this morning. But as always, we thank you for joining us.
I'm going to go eat some more of those cookies Sarah made.
Me too.
They're pretty good.
They are good.
So thanks for being there, everyone. We hope you have a good day. We will see you back here on Monday morning. Have a good weekend.